Everyone thinks a great dash cam has to scream 4K, giant screens, and a million features, but here's the thing, that checklist often fails you when it matters because reliability and coverage beat specs on paper. The Thinkware F200 PRO doesn't flex 4K or a screen, and that's exactly why it surprised me. Dual 1080p front and rear, 140 degrees up front and 160 degrees in back, minimal distortion, and a stealthy design that just works. I spent 3 weeks testing it across city commutes, night drives, highway runs, and overnight parking in a hot garage. I expected compromise. What I found was different, and it changed how I judge dash cams. Before we dive into what I discovered, quick note: if you're already thinking the F200 PRO might be the one, I've got the best current price linked below. But hang tight, because a couple of gotchas and one big upside could save you money and frustration. I started this test out of necessity. A parking lot tap left a scuff on my bumper and a blurry plate from my old 4K bargain cam. No plate, no claim, just me paying. I needed a dual-channel setup that would be rock solid in daily driving and capture clean footage while parked in my condo's dim garage. I've been burned by suction cup mounts falling off in heat, batteries swelling, and apps that refuse to connect when you actually need them. So when I saw the Thinkware F200 PRO had no screen, optional GPS, and dual 1080p instead of 4K, I was skeptical. But I also knew Thinkware's reputation for parking mode and heat resistance. I went in cautiously hopeful, expecting to uncover the usual deal breakers. First, the setup test. The low-profile adhesive mount makes this thing practically invisible behind the mirror. I routed the rear camera cable along the headliner and hatch. It's included in the box and clicks in cleanly. The app Thinkware Dash Cam Link paired on the second try, and aiming the lenses via Wi-Fi was straightforward. No screen means your phone is your viewfinder, which I thought I'd hate, but once it's aligned, you forget about it. Voice prompts confirm recording states and the build feels solid. Heat-wise, the cabin hit summer bake levels during a sunny afternoon and the F200 PRO kept rolling. But then the trade-off shows up. If you prefer a screen for on-the-spot playback, this isn't it. Daytime performance next. The F200 PRO captures 1080p at 30 fps on both channels with accurate color and strong contrast. In bright conditions, plates are readable within about 1-2 car lengths at city speeds, and signage stays crisp. That 140 degrees front and 160 degrees rear coverage provide a wide view without the fisheye warping you see on cheaper cams. The rear lens handles reflections surprisingly well, but then on the highway, like most 1080p systems, plate reads at higher speeds require you to be fairly close. Still, lane detail and vehicle models are easy to identify, which is what you need for context and evidence. Night and low light were my make or break. In streetlit areas, headlight glare is controlled and exposure is balanced, so you're not just looking at glowing blobs. In darker side streets, it introduces some grain but preserves detail on vehicles and pedestrians. License plates are readable when stopped or at low speeds within about a car length or two. The rear camera handles tinted glass decently, though heavy tint will naturally reduce clarity. And because it's 30 fps, motion remains smooth enough to interpret events accurately. But here's where it gets interesting. Against one of my favorite budget 4K cams, the Thinkware's night footage actually told the story better because the exposure and contrast were more consistent. Parking mode was the biggest test. I hardwired the unit to enable motion impact detection and time-lapse modes. It buffers recordings, so you get a few seconds before and after an event, crucial context. Overnight in my garage, it picked up a door ding attempt and a cart rolling past the bumper with clean clips. In time-lapse mode, it sips power and turns a long night into a manageable timeline. After roughly 24-36 hours, the built-in voltage protection cut power to protect my battery. That's the kind of reliability you only appreciate when you need it. The caveat: you'll want the hardwire kit for the best parking features. Plug-and-play power won't give you the full experience. Then there are the safety aids. With the optional GPS antenna attached, you unlock speed red light camera alerts and ADAS. Lane departure, forward collision warnings, and front vehicle departure. The camera alerts were accurate on my test routes. ADAS, it's helpful at times, like a gentle nudge when the car ahead pulls away at a light, but it can be a bit chatty on urban streets. If you hate beeps, you can tweak or disable alerts. The GPS also logs speed and route, which can protect you in disputes. But remember, the GPS antenna is sold separately, so factor that into price. My biggest surprise, the F200 Pro's win isn't headline specs, it's consistency. Across roughly 800 miles and 6 overnight sessions, it never corrupted a file, never overheated, and never failed to lock a clip when it detected a bump. The footage isn't cinematic, it's dependable. In a side-by-side with the Viafo A129 Plus Duo, the Viafo's front channel looked sharper in daylight thanks to higher resolution, but the Thinkware's parking features and thermal stability felt more refined and less fussy day-to-day. Compared to flashier 4K options, the F200 Pro beat them at the boring stuff that actually matters: clear evidence, accurate exposure, and no drama. Too good to be true? Not exactly. The weaknesses are clear. No screen, 1080p ceiling, and paying extra for GPS. But if you value a set-it-and-forget-it system that just captures the moment, this stands out. Its Amazon rating around 4.2 tracks with my experience. Solid, with a few trade-offs you should know about. Now that you know reliability is the real headline, if the F200 Pro fits your needs, consider grabbing it while the dual-channel bundle and hardwire kits are still reasonably priced. Check the link in the description for current deals and any coupons before they disappear. Bottom line, the Thinkware F200 Pro is for drivers who want stealthy dual 1080p coverage, robust parking mode, and dependable performance in heat and low light. It's ideal for commuters, rideshare drivers, and anyone parking on the street or in shared garages. Skip it if you need 4K sharpness and on-screen display or GPS included out of the box. Look at higher-res models if plate sniping at highway speeds is your priority. For everyone else, this is the quiet type that shows up when you need it most. Reliable beats flashy, every time.